It's time to do a comparison of two of the biggest rivals in all of computer history. The Apple Macintosh and the IBM Compatible or Windows PC. So, to do a good comparison, a good, clean, fair comparison, I've got two PCs from around the same year, for the same market, and of similar price. The IBM ThinkPad A22M and the Apple Macintosh PowerBook G3. So these two PCs were made in the late 90s. I need two hands to open this one. And are for the professional market. They cost well over $1,000 and have very similar specs, respectively. They both have 1024 by 768 resolution LCD panels. They both are around the exact same size, and they both run at about the same speed. As far as the Apple Macintosh goes, I'm not sure of its exact specs, but I imagine that it's around 128 megs of RAM and about a 300 megahertz processor. The IBM PC, as PCs normally do, outspecs that Mac by a lot, having an 800 megahertz processor and 256 megs of RAM. So let's start them both up, starting with the Mac and then the PC. The PC is going to start a lot faster than the Mac because the Mac has a problem where it takes a long time to start. So while we're comparing the two laptops, let's just think about what these two PCs are for. So, Apple PCs are not gaming PCs. They are not home PCs. They are not personal computers. They are meant to be professional PCs. And let me just change the date and time on the ThinkPad. 16/2017. There we go. And as I'm doing that, the Mac is starting up. But as I said, the Mac is a professional market unit. These aren't meant for the average guy that needs to play bingo online and watch YouTube all day. These are meant for Mr. editing videos and images and high quality audio samples all day. This is Mr. Teacher. This is Mr. Businessman's computer. So it is spec'd accordingly, with a fairly nice, for the time, active matrix laptop panel, which I need to restart the PC. This laptop provides a great professional environment, as Macs are supposed to do. It has a, as I said, I believe a 300 megahertz processor, which is obviously a Motorola G3 PowerPC processor, as it should be. And it runs very well because it's a Mac and it's meant to run Mac OS. It's not meant to run universal operating system like the Windows PC is. So, now over to the Windows PC. This PC is meant to be anything. This particular PC is a professional grade PC, but the thing comes in that it's still a PC. So it has universal compatibility with Linux and Windows and all sorts of software compatibility. So it's meant to be able to run under multiple environments. The Mac is meant to run under Mac environment. That's it. It's proprietary. So in that regard, the Mac is going to win because since its software is meant to run on its hardware and nothing else, it's optimized perfectly. While the Windows PC is optimized universally, which makes it slower on slower systems, but that's okay. So as far as tactical response on, the mouse and keyboard that comes with these computers, the Mac's keyboard feels meh. It doesn't feel horrible. It's better than most modern laptop keyboards because it's not a spaced apart chiclet style keyboard. But it does feel pretty mushy and meh. And as far as the mouse click goes, which no left click or right click as it's a Mac, just left click. The trackpad is fairly responsive, as you can see on the screen there, and the click is pretty okay too. So I give that a pass for the Mac. The IBM has an amazing keyboard. IBM ThinkPads are known for their keyboards being great. I mean, I'll just open up Notepad on both of these PCs, and I'll give you an idea for what these two keyboards sound like. To say the least, there's a big difference, and I'm still waiting for the IBM to get its jollies. Okay, I'll just work with the Mac for now, because the Mac is already all good and ready to go. So I'll just open up, where's Notepad? There it is. Here we go, open up Notepad, and I mean, you can hear how that's kind of like, it's quiet and it's not very responsive. But then I go to the Notepad on this PC, and I mean the keys feel way firmer. It's just a better keyboard. But as I said, the Mac has a trackpad, which is very innovative for its time. The IBM has a nipple, so it has this little thing, which is fine. I've gotten used to these, and they're not half bad. So in that regard, I think it's fine. Now, as far as IOs go, that's where the Mac bombs hard. That's where the IBM shines gracefully. So as far as the IBM's IOs go, right here, it's kind of hard to see, but you've got a 24-speed CD-ROM burner, so burner drive there. Dual PCM CIA card slots on this side. And if we come over to here, you've got the hard drive, the floppy disk drive, audio input, amplified output, and headphone output. So you've got those two. And then on the back, you've got PS2 mouse and keyboard combo port, one USB 1.1 port, SVGA, serial, a non-working Ethernet. I'm not sure what's going on there, but it was blocked off when I first got the laptop, so my guess is it wasn't supposed to be used. A 56K dial-up modem, and parallel printer port. So, pretty good IOs as far as the Windows PC goes. Now for the Mac, you've got the battery, 56K dial-up modem, dual PCM CIA card slot. Now on the back, all you've got mostly is Apple proprietaries. You've got the Apple, the ADB port, so the Apple something port, I forget what it's called. But you've got a printer, or a fax and modem port. You've got Ethernet, which does work, and it does connect to the internet. A proprietary game port right here. Video out, and SVGA. And that's all that's on the back. Oh, no, wait. There's also audio input and audio output, headphone output. And then on this side, you have a 20-speed CD-ROM, not a burner. But as you can see, in that regard, the Macintosh definitely loses. And it just dedicated its reliability right there. That was the next thing I wanted to talk about, reliability. I never have any problems with this PC. It's slow sometimes, but with a Windows 98 operating system and whatnot, it's fine. It runs gracefully. I don't ever really have any crashes with it. This PC, however, I just had a crash with it. And sometimes I have to literally keep plugging in and unplugging the power cable for it to want to start. It only wants to start some of the time. I have to wait for that green light to want to come back on again. Which I'm not sure what this is caused by, but it's a very annoying problem. Which I have yet to figure out what's really wrong with it. But as you can see, it's very frustrating. It is the most annoying thing I've ever had with a PC. But as you can see, normally when the light doesn't come on, power won't come on, and the fan spins all the way up, which I would think would be signs of overheating, but it's definitely not overheating. Because it only happens when sometimes I jiggle the laptop or I put in a CD that it doesn't want to read. That's when this error happens, and trust me, it is the most annoying thing ever. But this thing is really being stubborn right now. Usually it takes maybe 4 or 5 inputs and outputs of the power cable. This time it's just totally refusing. As you can see, it refuses to boot, so that's that. But what I was gonna say was, at least if you have a reliable Macintosh, which that puts that one out of the way, Macintoshes are great for productivity. I mean, with Windows PCs, they're for everything. They're for gaming, they're for home use, they're for, they're for everything. And there's that elusive light that I was looking for. And there we go, the system will boot back up now. But the Mac is perfect because that's what it's meant for. Image editing, photo editing, audio sampling, word processing, painting, and stuff like that. The Windows PC is meant for everything. It's meant for gaming, home use, stuff like that. So, as far as an average user goes, someone who's not in the works for a professional computer, the Windows PC is definitely a clear winner. But if you need something that's for professional use and won't give you troubles in that regard, something simple to use, the Mac is where it's at. So, to say the least, I say both of these computers win in their own respects. So, I hope you guys like this video. I enjoyed making it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.